What we do here is go back.
It's Black History Month. Let's take them back. Let's take them back to the penitentiary. Study the Bible, not the sermon. It's the boy locksmith. Knowledge is the key. And I got the keys. Keys open up the doors. Study the Bible, not the sermon is the channel. 50 subscribers deep. Oh my gosh. Hey, all praise to the Most High God, Jesus, in the name of Jesus. Right? And if you don't know what I mean by that, definitely leave me a comment. Right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Don't forget to share this. Yep. 5th day of the week. Things that make you go, Yeah, and we back at it. Full speed ahead, straight into it. Yo, why so many black men in prison? That's the question. That's what we wondering. Let's go straight into it. The prophet Isaiah got the answer. We're going to deal with the prophet Isaiah. So if you got a book that's got the prophet Isaiah in it, you want to peel him open, chapter 24. Let's go ahead and start at verse 1. I got my illustrious reader as usual. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, bruh. Come on, read something. Verse 1, 24. What it say?
Isaiah 24.
Yes, sir.
Behold,
okay,
the Lord maketh the earth empty.
Ooh.
And maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down.
Truth.
And scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
And
it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest.
Yes.
As with the servant, so with his master. As with the maid, so with her mistress.
True.
As with the buyer, so with the seller.
And
as with the lender, so with the borrower.
And
as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him.
So it's going to be the same thing for everybody in the land. What is it going to be for them? Read it.
The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. For the Lord has spoken this word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away.
Why?
The world languisheth and fadeth away.
Why?
The haughty people of the earth do languish.
I say why?
The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Now tell us why.
Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
So, first reason why so many black men in prison is because the earth mourneth and fadeth away. It's languishing. The earth is defiled. Why? Because they transgressed the law. Right? Duh. Right? When you break man's law, you run all the stop signs and all the stop lights, you gonna languish. Right? You gonna pay that bread. Especially if you live in a shop. You gonna pay that bread. It's $100 every light. Don't go too fast by the park. That's another $100. You know what I'm saying? I think you get 2 or 3 of them and they try to double it on you. Take too long to pay, they're going to try to double it on you. Right? You're going to languish away real quick. So why would we think it's any different with the word of God? Or with God, period. Right? You change his law, you're going to languish. Right? What else to say? Change the ordinance, broke the everlasting covenant. What's the covenant? Matter of fact, Mr. TV producer, put the covenant on the screen, please, sir. There you go. Right? And you done broke that covenant. Right? Moses said, the Lord told Moses by the tenor of the words, he gonna make a covenant with us. Which covenant did they break? The Sabbath day is the first one that I can think of. Probably because he told us to remember it, but I'm the only one in my family remember it. Did you read it? No, finish 6, bro.
Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth.
Oh, look at that. When you don't keep the law, it's a curse. Seems like we went over this last week or something. That the Lord said in Deuteronomy 28, he said, if you do what I say, you're going to be A-okay. But if you don't do what I say, you're going to be cursed above everybody. The curse is going to come on you and overtake you. Right, here we are again. You done broke the law, the everlasting covenant, changed the ordinances. What ordinances they changed, locksmith? Well, April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is called April Fool's Day because you's a fool if you kept doing New Year's when God said. New Year's is when the Pope said, and that's in January. God said in April, so April Fool's Day. Only fools believe it's New Year's. Right? The Sabbath is on a Sunday. That's the ordinance you changed. You can eat whatever you want to. You change that ordinance. Right? You can have 30,000 denominations and they all worshiping the same God. That ordinance. What's the ordinance? One faith, one God, one baptism. One faith, one Lord, one baptism. Right? Let's try to keep the ordinance, right? That's all. So therefore, the curse devoured the earth. I wonder what curse he talking about. I wonder if he talking about us or another curse. Things that make you go, squared. Read something.
And they that dwell therein are desolate.
Yes.
Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
Right? So, seems like we're getting somewhere. The inhabitants of the earth are burned, and there's few men left. You know, I walk through the streets, or ride through the streets, and everywhere I see women and children. If I see young men, it's like a group of them, like 1,000 of them together, right? It's like 4 or 5 of them together, right? Never with kids though. I only see the women and the kids over here, and then every so often you see packs of dudes. All very bizarre in my opinion, you know. But hey, who am I? Yeah, skip down to verse 17 and pick it up, bro. Come on.
Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth.
Well, I guess you should be fearful. I mean, he done cursed the earth, or you done cursed the earth with your illegal outlaw selves. How many Christians out there outlaws? You know what? That's what we should start calling these Christians. They don't want to keep God's law. Then you Christian outlaws. Yeah, I think I might be on something. Hashtag Christian outlaws. Don't want to keep the law. Finish, bruh.
And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit.
Ooh.
And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare.
Oh, damn.
For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake.
Yeah, I suppose so. You done gave up on the law. Jesus coming to represent. But we're not going to represent right now. Skip on down to verse 20. Come on.
The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. Right,
and when are we talking about, of course? We're talking about the end times here. He starts to go into the coming of the Lord. But why? Because you changed the ordinance. You broke the law and the covenant. Alright, one more time, that's the reason. Right? I always like to answer the question first and then go deep on you. Right? So the question was, why black men in jail? The answer is because the earth is defiled and the curse have devoured the earth. Remember my animations from a couple weeks ago. He could have just said bit the earth, or the curse has chewed up the earth. Right? No, devour means and it's gone. Devoured it, engulfed it. Right? Devoured the earth, and they're desolate. Right? Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the covenant. Straight up and down. Now, let's stay in Isaiah. Flip over to chapter 42. And we want to start this at verse 18. 42 and 18, bro. Come on, Weedy. Bruh, what the book say?
Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see.
Okay.
Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent?
Who we talking about here? Of course, Israel, right? The whole book is about Israel, right? And in this case, who is Israel? African American descendants of slaves. Who's blind like African American descendants of slaves? Who's deaf like African American descendants of slaves? Read it, bro. Let's tell us.
Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not.
Ooh, who see as many things as us and don't observe nothing? Read it.
Opening the ears, but he heareth not.
Oh my gosh, they can hear everything, but they don't hear no thing. Nothing. What the book say, bruh?
The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake.
Yes.
He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
Well, I guess so, because if you break the law and the covenant and the ordinance, the curse gonna be on the earth. So thank you, Jesus, for magnifying the law and making it honorable. Read that.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Yes.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, restore.
Yeah. So this is a people blind, deaf, and dumb, rather blind and dumb. Also a people robbed and spoiled. Robbed and spoiled? What you mean, locksmith? What I mean is that this whole country was built by African American slaves, right? The whole country. I mean, like the banks, tobacco industry, right? Steel industry, the coal, everything that can be mined, sugar, cotton. Pop my collar. Shout out to my ancestors, boy. All of this, right? Robbed and spoiled, right? How much money you ever got for it, right? Right? I ain't never got none. Right? My granny came from Louisiana, small town Louisiana. I never seen no money, right? Stole it from her. And I'm almost sure that she moved up here as an orphan because her daddy died on train tracks. All right? You know what that do? You ever seen Malcolm X? You understand? So, robbed and spoiled because all your wealth is stolen. Google Black Wall Street. Google Rosewood, Florida. Right? If that even exists anymore. I don't think it even exists. I think they burned it off the map. Right? Google these places. And then this other theory I'm thinking about, I haven't really came to the conclusion yet, so don't quote me. But what I'm thinking, you know, just from on a general sense, most of the people that were hung were black people that was getting money, out hustling their white counterparts, right? Stole everything, gave you nothing, right? People robbed and spoiled, bruh. They say they all snared in holes and hidden in prison houses. Again, answering the question, why so many black men in prison? Because Isaiah told you that they was going to be in prison. And what would you rather have, the prophet be false? Right? So, young men, if you're listening to this, boy, you thinking about getting the game, boy, robbed and spoiled. They're going to hide you. They're going to put you on a shelf somewhere and hide you away. Move you 10 hours away from your family so you need a pen pal. I'm just saying it's Black History Month. That's what we doing, right? Did you read 25? Read that, bro.
Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
I will.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil in Israel to the robbers?
Ooh.
Did not the Lord?
Yeah, the Lord.
He against whom we have sinned.
Oh, for sure.
But they would not walk in his ways.
That's the problem.
Neither were they obedient unto his law.
Oh my gosh, that's what we was just reading. The whole earth is devoured because of the curse. Why is it that false prophets run around telling you don't have to keep the law then? Leave me a comment if you want to. Read that.
Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger.
Oh my gosh, the fury of his anger. I guess the Lord would have to be angry with us to hide us in the prison house. Especially because 2017, we understand fully what that means to be hidden. Because when the man go away, it's like he don't even exist. He might as well be dead until he come home. Right? And shame on me. I'm about to go right my homies that's locked up as soon as this video's over. Now that I told y'all, I guess I really had to do it. Read.
And the strength of battle in it hath set him on fire round about.
Yes.
Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart.
Yeah. Burns us on the inside. Why? 9,000 out of every 100,000 black men are in jail. Matter of fact, throw that chart up again, bro. It's BHM. Right? 9,000 black men. What is it like? 900 for white men? That's the average. So like a little bit more than that for black women and way less than that for white women. But nobody lays it to heart. That's steady burning us. Nobody lays it to heart. That maybe it's a curse. Right, we're at 25, right? Alright, flip it over to chapter 51, bruh. Alright. Chapter 51. Let's read one more. Let's get on up out of here, bruh. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make this real swift to the jugular. Okay. Chapter 51, Isaiah 51. Let's do it at pick it up at verse 17, bro. When you get that, read that.
Awake. Awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which hast drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling.
Woo!
And wrung them out.
So, why do you say that, Locksmith? We read that because you have. You drunk of his fury. Why do you think he hid you in the prison house? What do you think he had to do to get to the prison house? Drinking of the Lord's fury. And he gonna tell us, come on.
There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth.
Terrible news.
Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought up.
And I think this is important. Now, I didn't even realize this when I was writing the scripture down. But like I just told my students today, or I asked them a question. I said, where do all the rich black people live? And they started talking about the suburbs of Hollywood and California and, you know, Palm Beach or whatever, wherever, Paris. And so I'm like, if all of the successful black people moved out the ghetto, then why do people walk around like they don't know why the ghetto is crazy? Like, if all the parents of the good kids moved out of the hood, then ain't nobody left but the ones that's gonna shoot at each other. If everybody who got a daddy moved out the hood, then of course only ones left is gonna be the ones without daddies, and they all gonna try to kill each other because they all starving over here. But I'm just saying, we just read, there's none to guide her among all the sons whom she brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she brought up. Meaning, who's gonna save us? Who's the dude that's supposed to come up, go to college, become super duper educated, and say, all right, this is how we're gonna build. This is how we're gonna do our thing. Everybody gather together, and we're gonna lock arms and lock hands and can't do that though, because everybody ran out the hood. And since it's Black History Month, I'll go ahead and let you know, because my mama ran too, and I stay on 79th Street. But I'll go ahead and let you know, technically you didn't run. Technically you're not running from the hood. Go do some research. Technically you're being sucked out of the hood. Alright? First, they sucked me out the hood because I was smart enough, bright enough to get a good score on the magnet school. Alright, so I got to go on the white side of the city to the school. Sucked me straight out of the neighborhood school where I could have shined. Right? And I'm not even saying I would have shined. We talking theoretics right now. Right? Because it's got to be more than just me staying in the black school in order to save something, right? So, yeah, I'm talking about this sucking thing. So they sucked me out, right? Next thing is, because not only they sucked me out, they sucked the 3 smart people out the projects, our Wentworth Gardens out. They sucked out the smart dude from 112th and Low out. And then they sucked out the dude from Inglewood, who was kind of smart, out. And then they sucked out the dude from the east side Chicago, who was smart. And all us in the class together. Right? Then, when that didn't work right, because I'm taking on characteristics of the project kids that I'm kicking it with. There's only 6 of us in the white school. Right? Then, my mama decided, oh, the city is the problem. She should have believed her homegirl when she said she's moving to Naperville in '84. Right now it's 94, so all right, fine. We're going to try to get to the suburbs, but I love the city so much, we're going to go to the good side of the city and the better side of the city. And eventually, by the time I was grown, she had made it to the suburbs way too late by then. But I mean, the point, she got sucked out of the city. I feel like I'm talking too much. Read something, bruh.
These two things are come unto thee.
Yeah.
Who shall be sorry for thee?
Nobody.
Desolation and destruction and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee?
Exactly. Who's going to comfort you? Nobody, man. They trying to rob you still. Right? Sell you bad meat, bad weave, bad gold, pay you for gold, lower price, pawn shops, check the cash, loan sharks, currency exchanges. Boy, stop. Read it.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. As
Hold on, bro. You might have to read that again, because slow fast. This is why there's no sons to guide you. And this is why none of the sons are taking you by the hand of all the sons that she brought forth. Read verse 20 again.
Thy sons have fainted.
Yes.
They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. Full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. So, Mr. TV producer, go ahead and put up an image of some Black History Month dudes at the head of the street. At the head of the street. Matter of fact, put up the definition to the word head. So, these are your sons, Israel. But nobody that guides you, no son to guide you, no son to lead you. Why? Because they all felons. Felon can't lead nobody. It wasn't until recently that people in my family started being okay with somebody having a felony. Low key, I think I had to get one first. Then, you know, the stigma was finally broken with just because you got a felony, you're a bad person. Ooh, did I say that? Oh, no, y'all didn't hear that from me. I'm just playing. Not a felon. Just playing. Anyways, but yeah. Matter of fact, TV producer, man, go ahead and throw the 13th Amendment up. 13th Amendment was supposed to abolish slavery, right? And you read, it says, abolished except if you convicted of a crime. What's that mean, locksmith? That means once you're convicted of a crime, you're a slave again, bruh. You notice that in that thing I just put up, it didn't say nothing about when you get off probation, when you get off parole, or when you get out of jail. No, no, no. Once you duly convicted, you slave for life, baby. Right? Go do you some research. You'll find out that this prison industrial complex that everybody knows so much about, so many black men in jail, is more than it was in 1850 slaves. This thing started in 1874. Prison industrial thing, where they started making things like vagrancy a crime that got you months and years, and they start renting out their prison chain gang to the local corporations. Stuff that's going, same difference. They've been getting money off slavery ever since slavery ended. Well, turn down, boy, turn down. What we read to? 23? Nah, we ain't read that. Read that, bro. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted, drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith thy Lord the Lord.
What'd he say?
Thy God that pleadeth the cause of his people.
What'd he say?
Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. Nah.
One time, you know, people that call themselves Jews try to say, nah, see, that's an old prophecy. See, that's over with. See, because to say, I have given thee, I've taken it from thee. So that means it's not even, you can't use that 21st century, because he took that. That thing happened when Jerusalem was taken down, or some weird place answer that he said. Bruh, just finish reading, because we don't study sermons, we study the Bible, so read it.
But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over.
Absolutely, right? So when did this happen? When did that last part happen? When did the Lord take it and put it in the hand of them that afflict thee. Right? When did this happen to them? Definitely didn't happen to us. Taking the hand of trembling out of my cup of my fury. Nah, man, the cup of the fury ain't really been poured out yet. This is preliminary. This is formalities. This is judgment starting at the house of the Lord. That's what this is that's happening to us. This whole black history thing, African American descendants of slaves, this is judgment beginning at the house of the Lord. When he's done judging us, then it's going to really be on for the rest of the world. By the time the Lord finished judging Israel, it's going to be time for the Great Tribulation. And I tell you what, checking out the news, the fact that American president is cool with Russia and China consolidating the South Pacific, boy, I tell you, according to Bible prophecy, our time is about done, baby. Shout out to all the Israelites, Hebrew Israelites that's paying attention. Shout out to all 50 of my subscribers. Let me get 50 more right quick. I hope y'all watching and paying attention. All we need is that dude to stand where he ought not. And then our judgment is over. All that curse, that's over with. Once he stand in that spot, just get up. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. Study the Bible, not the sermon. Things that make you go, And they still call me locksmith, because knowledge is still the key, now and forevermore. In el nombre de Jesus. That's how we speak in tongues. 1.